You got more than you got in Boulder, just so you know. And they're ready for a change. I am Irv Halter, and I'm running for Congress. I started this campaign months ago because our nation is facing a crisis of confidence that threatens our national security, and I have a little experience in that. People don't trust government, they don't trust social institutions, they don't trust the private sector to look out for their best interest. And the worst of these is Congress, with a 9% approval rating, which apparently is slightly lower than head lice. And many Americans have given up hope that things will ever get better. I understand their frustration, but I believe they are wrong. I spent 32 years in the Air Force, and I've seen how government is supposed to work. I've led diverse teams of airmen, soldiers, Marines, and sailors. I've seen the great things that Americans, women and men, can achieve when they work together. Now, as you know, I'm a retired Air Force Major General and business executive, but I have working class roots. My wife Judy and I were first in our extended families to attend college. We first came to Colorado 40 years ago this past year. And after I graduated from the Air Force Academy and Judy from DU, we left to serve around the world for 32 years. But as they like to say, we got back here as soon as we could, and 5 years ago we came home to Colorado. I have many friends here who have ably served in public office, and we just had one of them up on stage, and I have great respect for them, but I have to tell you, I was talking to a woman on the phone the other day, and of course I was doing what I normally do, is asking for money. She said, "Well, General, have you ever run for public office before?" And I said, "No, ma'am. You'd have to be crazy to do this more than once." And the more I think about it, though, I might just be a little bit crazy. You know, I'm crazy enough to think that our country can still do great things. That the country that put a man on the moon and an iPhone in every hand can take on the nation's biggest challenges. That principled compromise is not the equivalent of surrender, as some of my Republican friends say. It is instead the way that our constitutional republic was designed to work. Now, you all know about CD5's current Congressman, Doug Lamborn, and I really don't like to talk about him because it really puts me at risk of taking on a battle of wits with an unarmed opponent. But you might not know that the Republicans and Independents in CD5 are as tired of Congressman Lamborn as we are. He was the lone member of the Colorado delegation to vote against reopening the government last October, despite the negative impact on our local economy. He made disparaging remarks about our president. He's boycotted the constitutionally mandated State of the Union address. Time after time, he has embarrassed Colorado, and it is way past time for us to say enough. I know what you're thinking, because I hear it all the time. Irv, you live in Colorado Springs. I mean, come on, get real. But the times, they are changing in CD5. It's not the same district it was, and regardless of party affiliation, people know incompetence when they see it. So starting last July, our campaign focused on providing an alternative to this incompetence, and people of all stripes have taken notice. We lit a small fire, and yesterday, if you haven't yet heard, that fire flared up in a contentious fight among our Republican friends. For the fourth time in 5 elections, Doug Lamborn has a primary fight on his hands, and it's going to be a doozy. As a result, all of CD5 is awake and paying attention now, and is ready for a change to competence, character, and leadership. If there's one thing I learned as a military leader, when your opponent is wounded, you kick it into high gear and relentlessly apply every resource available to finish him off. I am engaged 24/7 every day in this battle to relieve CD5 and all of Colorado of this embarrassment to our state. But I cannot do this alone. and many in this room have already generously supported our effort. So I ask you once again to dig deep to provide us the resources to close the deal. We will never get a better chance than the one we have right now, and I am ready for the fight. We've talked about it many times today, but we are going to return Mark Udall to the Senate, and we're going to re-elect John Hickenlooper. We will win our statewide contest with Betsy, Joe, and Don. We will expand our control of both state houses and contest even the toughest congressional seats. And to that end, we will send my friend Vic, Abel, and my very good friend Andrew to Washington, and we will send Doug Lamborn home. With your help, we once again will achieve great things. I'm Irv Halter, and I'm running for the U.S. Congress. Thank you.